Right, hello everyone. Happy Tuesday night. Hello Seafoam, happy to see you already here. How are you? How was your weekend? My weekend? Pretty good, can't complain. Well, I suppose if I was being negative I could complain a bit. Busy but good. Oh, good. I'm glad. Mine was good. I went to see a Halloween parade. Be negative. Oh, I don't know if anyone's here to see me specifically be negative. There are plenty of other people on this website who are negative, and of course all over social media. But I try to be more pleasant, or at least entertaining about it, without it being rage baity. Anyway, I went to a parade this weekend, a Halloween parade at night. I've never been to a night parade before. Bit lacking, I'll be honest. Far too many people, for one. Which is not their fault. It's a good thing that they're so popular, good for them. But that means that they didn't really know how to play to such a large crowd. We were in the... towards the end of it is where we decided to stand. And they didn't have anything left by then. None of the small little adorable children near me got any candy. Not really a whole lot of waving. Really more of just let's walk on by and be done. Which, no, finish strong. Don't let it whimper out. Just end strong and have more candy, for goodness sake. Poor kiddos indeed, I agree. So I don't think I will be returning to that one next year. Oddly enough, my favorite parades have always been St. Paddy's Day parades. They're usually around mid-morning. Are still a little bit chill because it's March. And it seems like everyone's just having fun. It could be the day drinking, I'll be honest, but I have never drunk at a parade before. And all the green and stuff, it's nice, it's cute. This was my first ever Halloween parade though, and I'm a little bit sad that it did not go quite as I expected. But that's alright, I tried a new thing. And now I can look back on that thing and say, I have been satisfied. My curiosity has been sated. But that was my weekend. Let's go ahead and get into it. You are a green-themed kind of dude. I am. I like green. And the Irish are cool too. Alright, let's switch over to my gaming screen here. Do I not have it? There it is. Okay. Now Seafoam has been teasing me. Because I keep saying, I think we're going to finish it. And Seafoam is adamant that I'm never going to finish it. Which I don't think that's quite how games work. At the very least, not very linear ones like this. We don't have a ton left to do. So I really do think we are going to wrap it up. So of all of our suspects, we've interviewed everyone completely. There might be a few things left on him, I'll have to go see. We've interviewed everyone completely except Felix and Flora and potentially Pointer. We have half of our suspicions realized. We just have to get theirs. And I guess maybe we'll uncover them through our talking to Flora and Felix. Hopefully. I suppose we'll have to see. Or perhaps I'm missing something major and I'll need to call on Seafoam again. Let's... I'm near certain that I've done everything for him, but just in case I haven't. Oh, I do have Hawkshaw suspicion, I just didn't look at it yet. Okay, is there anything Great! I did finish talking to you. Fantastic, because I don't want to anymore. Alright then. Shall we go to Hawkshaw's suspicion then? Or shall we go to Felix or Flora and do their interviews? What are we thinking? What are we feeling? I could see getting these two out and then we might get more suspicions. Felix? Alright. Oh, we went through the garden for that one. Okay. Let's have at you. Flora, your wife.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Oh, yes. Been married over 20 years now.
Wow.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
But she likes birds, in particular the ink-dip bird. I think at least that's what he's implying.
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
Oh, Sally's not having it. You know, fair. Fair. I'm not the most impressed with Mr. Felix, I'll be honest.
My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
So Freya came up with a nickname and she decided to go by it all the time. Alright.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant because we both wear, you know, red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
Well, I don't think it's an actual golden beetle. We have this. It's an actual insect, not a treasure. So, he's just missing the point, perhaps. But so she was hired by Pointer to look for the golden beetle. It sounds like, since we did uncover the golden beetle schematics. So that seems to be checking out there. He's just as conceited as Pointer, but slightly different. Yeah, they're both way up their asses just about different things. His about his self-imposed importance, and Pointer about his seemingly hard-worked-for intelligence. Seemingly. We don't know if he actually has a degree. But yeah, I'm not digging either of them. Fitz, you're the only good man here. You're gonna have to carry on for him.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
Are you saying that, or is that actually true? Huh. What would explain why she maybe wanted to leave it then? If she didn't feel welcomed? I mean, if she was only 3, someone had to raise her. Was it not Felix and Flora? Interesting. And that explains why their paints match. She gave him the paints. Something happened recently, yes. We don't know what yet, but something. Maybe something that made Flora go even more mute than usual?
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman.
So you have no reason to dislike him other than your daughter does. And she just dislikes him because he's getting Poppy's attention. Okay. Gotta say, I'm finding him more distasteful the longer he talks.
Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon? See the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
Huh. Y'all are in a giant tower in the middle of a lake. And does capitalism affect you even out here? I mean, I suppose the imports for food and things is probably sky high. Although you seem to grow your own food on the island, at least a little bit. I think he's doing fine. I don't know that he's actually struggling.
Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger. Always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle. And he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile.
You don't want the families to mix. You specifically do not want that. Is that another reason why you dislike Fitz, then? That he's willing to marry a Pointer?
Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so... different.
Different, like how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective. Good with feelings. Fiona, not so much. Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
Truly. So, okay, so who do you actually like, Felix? You like Flora, you like Fifi, so your immediate family. You seem to like Freya? A bit? You don't care for Fitz, you don't care for Hawkshaw, you don't care for Pointer. Jury's out on whether or not you actually like Penny and Poppy. Huh. Alright.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
Yeah,
Who
half.
named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
Hang on. I'm gonna back out of this and go back to the what do I want to say? The family tree.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
So Lord and Lady Remington built the house, and then you have Flora, Primrose, and Richard. Richard never mentioned. No idea what's going on with him. Primrose left at some point and never returned. Poppy's feeling weird about it. Percival's feeling weird about it. But they won't talk about it. At least not to us, which, fair. And then there's Pandora and Buck, who had Penelope, but Penelope was pretty much raised by Percival. We have Felix and Flora, who had Fiona, who was going to inherit the house. Fitz, who is his blood nephew. Why is he so against Fitz? So Flint and Emily. So then Freya, who doesn't belong at all. Oh, so Lord Fellow and Lady Fellow had these two officially recognized fellows. But then he had Felicia either out of wedlock or divorced and had her. Oh, so her mother's a bastard child. And that's why Freya doesn't have a claim. I didn't even notice that at all. I didn't bother paying attention at all to that originally. And all the other times I've looked at this map. That's an ink dip! Ink dip. Oh, and the serpent from outside. Cute. And a crab. And a chameleon, I think? You know, fair enough. That would do it. Although why anyone would want to kill her then is interesting. Okay.
Stairs.
No, wait, right. That's not how we do that. That's not how we do that. We go back up. Okay, so we have all the people. Let's go!
What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
Well, as opposed to make-believe? What are you getting at?
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Yep, we've discovered that.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall.
Well, that's more information than anyone else has given us about that.
I'm as confused as you are.
I doubt that.
It would have been a beautiful painting. It's rather a shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
An ink dip feather.
Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
You know, fair. Then again, we did totally unlock your box, and you didn't seem to mind that.
Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about that.
I mean, it makes sense if she taught him how to paint. And she, like, gave him paints.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes, so we shall. That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd.
Meaning he thinks it should be somewhere else, like Flora's private study.
That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not? It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes. Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way.
So he does sound fond of her. Despite being the only one to point out her illegitimacy. No one else bothered to bring that up. So it's weird that that's in his mind.
I've never seen that before. Looks valuable.
We'll save these two for last since they're his.
My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea.
They broke up recently. Very recently. I do wonder if Poppy used to look like her mother and that's why she went goth. And that's what everyone's talking about. And the leaving of her mother is what turned her goth.
Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they? Now this is still in very good condition. Apart from the crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside of the horn?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Cunning. Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
Not a clue.
And no one's willing to talk about Poppy's past look, for some reason. Which I don't quite understand. Unless we just have to figure it out ourselves and that's why they don't want to give it away.
I've never been one for music. Why not ask Poppy instead?
The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is slightly tarnished by the elements. But it's not too bad. Might be salvageable.
He's very money focused.
Is that a clue? Really?
It might be.
Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to.
Like anyone can leave Tangle Tower if they really wanted to.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Goodness me! Why don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks like her area of expertise.
Okay, let's do... We'll do the golden beetle.
What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold.
Odd that he was saying so little about it. So he does still consider it a treasure? He seemed very dismissive when Hawkshaw mentioned the golden beetle. Interesting.
I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Master.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course. I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower. Safety first and all that.
Sir, you seem very rich. You could get yourself a sword. They're not that expensive. Like a decent one. At least a decent prop one, about $50. Don't tell me you don't have $50 somewhere around here.
Ah, you found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people.
Flora surrounded by all her favorite people. Who is the man?
Ah, you found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the
Who
final
is he?
touches a little bit.
Freya,
Turned out
the
all right,
bird.
though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people.
Hang on, we're gonna get out of this.
There's something about Felix's painting supplies.
Oh, is there?
Something suspicious.
Oh, I missed that completely.
Let's ask him about it.
Later.
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting.
Oh?
Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Later. Do I have a sword? You know, I did at one point in time, actually. But I got rid of it, mainly because they're very hard to store. And at one point I was living in a tiny box of an apartment. And, you know, there just wasn't room for a sword. I kept a few of my knives, though. I had quite the knife collection as well. And I've kept, I think 2 or 3 in total. I used to have more, but, you know. I also have metal playing cards with sharp edges that you can throw. Those are my favourite. I'm never giving those up. They're also quite compact. Very easy to pack and put into a tiny box of an apartment. Or just a tiny box. So then. So we have a suspicion for Hawkshaw, Felix, and Flora. And... so the only one we're missing is a suspicion for Pointer. Okay. Let's go finish up Hawkshaw. Well, we're here actually. We're here. We'll do his.
So, about this paint we found in your room.
Nothing suspicious about it. I used it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
The wrong lid on? What?
It has the wrong lid on.
You sure about that?
Not entirely.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
Color?
It's not the right color.
You sure about that?
Not entirely.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing?
It's not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who it actually belongs to.
I'll be honest, I didn't notice. Oh! Wow, that's a subtle clue. So if you look, these all have a blue glass base. These ones over here have a green glass base. Except the red one. And this one is blue. Oh! A colorblind person would not have noticed that, so I think I'm okay. I'm not colorblind, but still.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Freya's white paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot and uses a murder weapon. But the lids were swapped to hide it?
Freya's white paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it. Nope.
Black?
Freya's black paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it. That's not right.
No, they're both. How do I. The blue one?
Freya's blue paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it. That's not right either.
The yellow one.
Freya's yellow paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it. That's not right either. Freya's red paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya's supplies, not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint anyway? And none of this is connected to your murder.
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely something. Right, fine. Here's the story. I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint. There was a certain amount of time pressure, so I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday. I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit insensitive.
True, if you were going to give her a model of someone that was just killed in front of her. So then... Is it not the lids? Oh no, I finished it. I figured it out. Okay. So then she, in a hurry to paint Flora's portrait for her birthday, decided to fill it up with blood? I mean, if someone is asking to use your red paint, and your red paint is suddenly gone, why not confront him about it? Right? Like, that'd be my first thought, you know. Say I had a cup of coffee, someone wanted it, I'm like, no, sorry, you can't have it, cup of coffee goes missing, I'm gonna go ask that person. So there's more to that story than he's letting on. I don't know that points to murder, but it sounds like he's the only one who's had an actual disagreement with Freya. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and go on down to Hawkshaw's suspicion.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
We know what it is now.
Such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
Hawkshaw doesn't know how to use it.
Hawkshaw doesn't know how to use it.
You sure about that?
Damn it.
Not entirely. I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
It's broken and doesn't work? It's not a microscope. It's a mini telescope!
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
It's a telescope. Oh no, I don't remember what Fifi says. Fake glass lens, I think?
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a fake glass lens. So Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Or no, is it the telescopic lens and that's why it's a mini telescope?
The handheld
There we are.
microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens. So Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
So there's a theft. So the golden beetle does exist? And it was stolen? Okay. Huh. And they believe Freya stole the beetle. Huh. Okay. So she just was a red herring within a red herring. She really has nothing to do with this. Which, to be fair, we did suspect. Alright, I guess. Oh, God. I really don't have a lot going on here. I guess we will go up to Flora and go through all of her silences. And I guess she will point us towards Pointer. Professor Pointer. We're not going to go into his suspicion just yet, just in case she talks. What about Hawkshaw?
You spoke to Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials?
Okay.
You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know. Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker. Grimore, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins.
Fair. Okay, time for a whole lot more silence.
Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty?
Is it the golden beetle? Was it hibernating in there?
Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies?
Since that's a gift for her, we'll save it for last.
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter?
Whole lot of nothing. I wonder if she has any voice lines.
Do you recognize any of these feathers?
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general? Do you know anything about this beetle?
Okay.
You haven't seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who are the other people next to you?
Could that be her brother, maybe? Potentially. Okay, well, we've looked at everything.
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah,
Not a knife.
it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
It's not a knife.
It's not a knife. We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
It's a feather.
Let's take a closer look at this.
It's actually just a feather from an ink dip
The
bird.
painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink dip bird is red and white too?
Yes.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
The ink dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
The ink dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
Alright, so she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally.
That's what's
This
in
is
the
where
egg.
Flora usually keeps her feather.
The egg.
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty. Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
Drawings of Flora and a small bird. There is a handwritten message on the back. These are for you. Love, Freya. Oh, cute. Okay. So then, is that our final piece of evidence? Alright, let's talk to everyone about it.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
We'll talk to Penelope last since she knows birds, but we'll go through everyone else real quick. Just to see if we get anything else. We still need pointer suspicion.
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
Why do you not know what happened to your wife's beloved pet? Seems like that should be a thing you know. Or at least have a somewhat educated guess about. Fifi, do you know about your mom's bird?
Freya drew these,
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
but she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
I'm thinking Felix and Flora did raise Freya. And that's why Flora and Freya are close. So I don't know why Felix isn't willing to admit that. Wait a second.
It's a big stone
Eh,
dot.
On Hawkshaw.
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
Seafoam, if you wouldn't mind, would you look up what we need for Pointer's suspicion? Percival Pointer's suspicion? If this doesn't do it. Just in case. Just have that on deck. Because I don't think we can progress until everyone has a suspicion.
Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back, too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
Okay. We'll also save Poppy for last. Sure thing. Thank you, Seafoam.
Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
So he has seen the bird. He knows the bird. Interesting. Okay, Poppy.
How sweet.
Okay, Poppy has absolutely nothing to say about it. Okay, Penelope, come and clutch for us. Give us something good.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
Must have been drawn. So the bird's been gone for a year. That's interesting. Damn it! What? Okay, what are we missing? We're missing something. I'll go back here.
Stairs.
What do we need? We've had everyone look at everything, right? Right? Anyone we haven't? By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but Freya's painting kind of looks like Hawkshaw, right? Red coat, a little bit thinner of a neck. Black point up top, black point. Kind of like scar-looking things. Hawkshaw has a scar. I know what to do. Okay, Sifa, go ahead. Enlighten me. What do I need to do? Give me your info. Since apparently I can't do it myself. Anything I'm missing? Dude, I so agree about the painting. Thank you. I'm glad you agree. What do I need to do? Use the telescope and then ask Pointer about the beetle. Use the telescope? What do you mean use it? What do you mean use the telescope? Where can I use it?
Stairs.
Use it on what?
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
'Twas indeed. This?
Every astronomy tower needs a telescope.
I want to try.
Oh! Oh! Okay.
It's the tower opposite this one. I can just about see the gramophone. You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up. Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle. I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall. The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges.
It's that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Don't you think it would fall off? In the wind.
Maybe it's glued down. Is that a window?
I think it is.
Is there another room above Flora's room?
We should check that next time we're over there.
Okay. So then that means he doesn't have a direct shot of where Freya was standing.
Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
Okay.
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
Let's do it.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh?
He's a
Go
big
on.
fucking sham.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
This is why
Right.
Hawkshaw was disappointed
That's
in
why
you.
you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen, incredibly rare, valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around, both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
And that's why he was
Flora?
first on the scene.
You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
Okay. So Flora and Freya were on the ground. And Flora got up, Freya didn't. Sound weapon. Sound weapon. And apparently the beetle makes a certain type of sound. Did the beetle try to escape? Potentially, if Freya had the beetle.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
Yes, let's.
Freya was definitely up to something.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could have missed something.
Sure, let's go. Well, that's new.
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
There's a note stuck to the back.
There was a crab on the on the I know exactly the portrait, the family portraits.
What does it say? Grimoire?
This is my new friend. He likes music. Simple melodies will move his soul. Best of luck, you two. Freya. Okay. Maybe it's all a cover-up. Maybe Freya's not really dead. A wooden toy of some kind of layer of dark ink lays beneath a sheet of glass, and it's moving. Okay.
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
well, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Did Freya and Flora swap places? You mean like mentally? Like Flora was in Freya's body and died? And now Freya's in Flora's body and doesn't want to talk to give it away? I suppose not the strangest theory. I don't think that's it, but it's a theory. A game theory. Because we are playing a game right now.
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
Oh? Unfinished business. Continue. Ooh. Okay, we've entered a new chapter. Okay, so it's not a clue. Wait, where do we have it then? Here. Can I... Use it. What makes music? What makes music? The doorbell? Uh-huh. Okay. So we have that. So we've captured it? What else makes music?
Don't think it's locked.
Yeah,
I'm
that,
pretty sure that's the rule.
Poppy does. Poppy plays the... It likes simple melodies. Maybe the little thing that Poppy has. Yes. So we'll play this.
It's mine.
Can you play the tune
can you
for
play
us?
the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
How do I crab that? Oh, crab does it for me. Piano. Okay. What else is there?
I'm still not sure.
Should we take another look?
Birds and song? Birds and song. Weren't the birds...
Come back.
Weren't the birds... over here? These ones. Yes! Okay, we have bird song. Who was humming? Or singing? Go to Penny's room? I think that's a bird's. Is she singing? Oh, she's humming! She's humming, isn't she? I think she is. She's not humming. Unless she is humming. No.
An especially fancy cage.
And
The
it's home to 3
tape.
especially fancy birds.
The tape plays the humming. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. The tape plays the humming. I wonder if that's Flora humming.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
Okay. Okay, we have it.
That's all 4 melodies, I think.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
To the statue. I don't know if this is going to help with a murder, but
Let's try this again.
You
Let's
know,
go
I think we might be
upstairs.
able to solve this now.
go upstairs for what? So we just need to make these match.
That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
Ah, there was a mouth! I knew there'd be a mouth. Oh, let's go upstairs, the secret room. We were just in there. Fine. We will in a second. We will. We are coming back for you. But no, you're right. Attic. Okay. What all have we got in here?
It's a statue of a wolf,
Okay.
standing up straight, like a man.
You know, there's a name for that.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed.
Oh! It's stuffed. Alright then. This looks important.
What is that?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
Reel thing. A brass reel with a screw at the top. Coiled around the reel is a length of fine red rope. Has there been an area where there's red rope? I don't think so. Potentially.
Just dusty junk.
It's a jar. The head screws off.
Huh.
Box?
What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
I don't think it's bones.
You know, maybe I won't open it.
Oh, you could.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda.
Rude. I'm enjoying myself. That's the
Someone
window.
painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious.
Don't want anyone looking in here.
Just dusty junk.
Okay. I think all we needed was the reel?
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring?
Kinda.
I think.
Where's that light coming from?
Well, it's just daylight, I think. There's a decent gap between those floorboards.
Ooh, look closer. Oh. The murder was done from above!
Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is?
The murder was done from above.
Where's that light coming
Well,
from?
it's just daylight. There's a decent gap between those floorboards.
Okay. So someone could emit the sound from there. So the sound goes straight down and then out. Because. It's cracked here. Those are cracked there. The sound came directly down. Through the eye.
The attic's directly above us, right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Where's the red rope? Red rope? Can I question you about it?
Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
Nope. Okay, well, we'll ask. We'll ask about the reel and then big spooky secret door entrance. Since I think we might have done it a little bit out of order.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
I mean, you know, decent idea, I think. I don't think it's particularly flawed anyway. Hi, Poppy. Disturbing you again.
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
Okay, not of help. Hawkshaw.
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double-check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
I tried. There was nothing. Absolutely nada.
Giant.
AKA
Right, I can't do that. I can't do that. Okay, Fitz. Would you know anything about some velvet rope?
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3.
Damn.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
Okay. Alright, Fifi.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
Well, it wasn't very funny, Fifi. Humor, not your forte. And that's okay, it doesn't have to be. I doubt Felix is gonna know. But we'll round it out.
What is it?
Fifi's
We
cute.
don't
She
know.
is cute.
We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's not the best. Alright, we'll go for Flora's silence, and that'll be our last piece of... well, no, our last clue that we interrogate people about.
Do you know what this is?
Guess not.
Okay, we've officially asked everyone. Right, we did ask Pointer. Didn't we? Didn't we? We asked... oh. We did. We did. Right? We definitely did. We did. Damn it. Okay, well, that means we get the fun thing then of going over here. And I presume we'll find out what this goes to in here. Hopefully.
Are we gonna go in?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but there's a couple of things I want to do first.
Oh? Talk with Sally at... talk with Sally the crime scene. Okay. Fine. The crime scene.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
No. Blood from the paint pot was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Change one thing. To hide the evidence?
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to hide the evidence. Nope.
Okay, just change one thing. Just change one thing.
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Yes.
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
Unrelated? I'm telling you, the stab one was post-mortem.
Are we done?
It sounds like it. It definitely sounds like it. Because the murder weapon was sound!
For now, it's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
Felix said he didn't own any swords, but was very happy about swords. Did someone use one of his swords? Did he use his sword? Is he covering for Flora?
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
Let's go down. Underneath. Alright, we're continuing right along. And we still have half an hour left, Seafoam. Is this Pointer's? It's Buggy. Is this Freya's? It's Buggy.
What's in there?
She did always want Fitz's bugs.
It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
The golden beetle.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
9 beetles. All different, all dead.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean. 9 beetles. All different. There's
Okay.
mostly numbers.
Maybe that's why Freya was always asking Fitz for the troublemaking beetles? Maybe she was trying to breed the golden beetle?
It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold. A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
I like that you called them rooms. Bugs. Big ones.
Looks like they're made of metal.
Books?
Forensic Entomology, Volume 3.
This has gotta be...
That's an incredibly specific area of study.
It's gotta be Pointers?
Forensic Entomology, Volume 3.
Okay.
Incredibly
Nope, nothing to say there. But this...
rows of plants, growing in wide wooden boxes.
What color is the soil?
It looks black, but it's too dark to tell.
So it's not Fitz's blue.
This place would never pass a fire safety inspection.
Fair.
A candle, perched on a barrel.
Very medieval.
I was thinking pirates.
Medieval pirates.
Okay. Okay, giant lock.
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it?
Let's look closer.
Weird looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
Huh. Oh. Oh, so we have to make the maze from here? Oh, oh no. Oh no. Okay, well that's a perfect match, so we have that. So, and that's the only one, right? Yeah, that's still a gap. So we know we need that. And then we need something to line up there. That doesn't line up. How do we... Oh, nothing can go over this. Right? Because that has to... Oh, no. So that could do with that. But... No, but it can't, though. Oh, what else is lining up? Oh, this isn't good. This is not good. This is the opposite of good. These are always going to be slightly off-center from each other. Unless... Can we use the lines underneath it all?
Nothing.
I
Nothing.
think we're trying to make a path between the key and lock symbols on either side.
Yes, that much is obvious. Okay. You texted me. Oh, thank you. But I don't want to use it just yet. I do want to give it at least a solid bit of try. Potentially. Nothing matches up there. Oh! Oh, 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 oh. Hang on. So do. And then... There, and then... Oh! Oh! Oh, I didn't even look at the text.
I got it.
Didn't even look at the text. Didn't need it.
I'm impressed.
I appreciate that you texted though, Sifa.
Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
Okay, secret research. A folder containing research notes and diagrams. Our unique flora and fauna is the byproduct of a number of as yet unidentified chemicals. These chemicals are continually present in the water, forming clouds and filling the lake. This causes a variety of mutations in plants and animals. Smaller creatures, such as arachnids, insects, mollusks, amphibians, and crustaceans, are the most affected. However, the chemicals may travel up the food chain and cause mutations in birds and reptiles. As far as we know, mammals remain completely unaffected. Well, that's convenient.
Whose research is this? This is some seriously in-depth research.
That's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
The golden beetle? It's gotta be the golden beetle, right? Yeah.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
The golden beetle. No, Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
We're done. We're done. No, I agree. There's no need for all the secrecy if you're just trying to make gold. And Freya... Freya has no inheritance. She's a bastard child. And seems to somewhat care about insects. Maybe she didn't agree with them being bred and killed? Or something?
Ready to go down? Again?
Oh, there's one more room. The lowest level. Oh, what's this?
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
Metal rod. A sleek but sturdy metal rod. It has been stabbed into a photograph. The rod has a curved and pointed tip like an arrow or the hand of a clock. It has a small loop at the back with a short length of red rope connected to it. The metal is perfectly clean and polished. So the pulley and the rope, those are connected. Flora and her... Oh, her father? Her father is the other figurine. With all the ink dip birds. It's been framed, but is slightly damp. The photo shows a young girl. A large man is sitting next to her. Around them are several red and white birds. A metal object was stabbed into the photo, leaving a hole near the man's chest. So Lord Remington got stabbed. By someone angry. And the only one who has access to anything is Pointer. Okay.
Do you know who it is? In the photo?
Yes.
This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
Yep. Betcha that's the murder weapon? Oh, it could be. It absolutely could be.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora?
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
Lord Remington.
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father. Meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
No, not really. Okay, we still have more things. Goodness. Alright.
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
Mysteries of the Sea and Sky, a children's picture book. It looks very old. The ink dip, an elegant bird with red and white plumage, which is Flora. The silver snake, an aquatic reptile with no eyes and a long tongue. That's the sea serpent, where Hawkshaw is. The soul bear, a crab with 3 differently sized claws. That's the little device we were using. The amphobe, a frog-like creature walking on 2 legs. And those are the statues that we've seen. Okay.
A single book on a little makeshift
This is,
Yeah.
I think it's a children's book.
Okay. Okay. What about this?
It's an old coat rack. Looks thoroughly neglected.
2 cloaks. And a green hat draped on top for good measure.
Cloaks and a green hat. I don't think that matches anyone.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty.
Ooh. Okay, what about this?
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
Okay. Wait, the candle is lit. Yes, it is lit. Someone has been using it. So this was the original house. Grand hall, the library, the music room. 2 bedrooms. A study, which we haven't seen. The rooftop garden, the aviary, storage. So Freya's room was originally storage. Misted Mansion. And then the aquarium running through it. Misted Mansion was the original name and Flora changed it to Tangle Tower to annoy people. Okay?
Hold on. Have we been to all of these rooms already?
No, we haven't been to the study.
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it?
Well, bed. So Fiona's room and I don't think there's a room on that side, actually. Oh, no, Penny's room. Penny's room and Fifi's room. I wonder if there's a door for either of them.
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
A roll of parchment on which the plans for a grand mansion have been drawn. A horizontal line marks where the lake was before, and a second mark where it is now. The mansion has been built on top of a large structure above the lake, supported by pillars. Freya's room is listed as storage. A room labeled study is in the center. Okay. We still don't have that yet. Okay. Do we need anything else?
Do these puddles worry you?
Why?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point.
Basements don't normally have windows?
Not normally.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything.
That's a very good point, actually.
That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with 1 candle?
It's all coming through the window.
True.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why
True.
is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe
sea
we're too
serpent?
late.
The sea serpent? They came for the sea serpent? Potentially? The soul crab? All the creatures? In the book?
Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room.
Let's go. Let's do it. We still have 20 minutes. We can do it.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
No idea.
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black,
A ladder?
but I think there's a switch.
Pull it. Oh! There's a ladder.
A ladder.
Want to go up?
I do want to go up. I absolutely do. Okay, who's gonna be in here? The Hidden Heart. Ooh. Okay. Well, there's just all sorts of things in here, isn't there? Oh, was the sea serpent maybe in this, and that's what got out? Potentially.
Dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one.
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
A photograph in a sturdy wooden frame. Its dusting looks several years old. A brass plaque at the base of the frame reads, "The Ambassadors of Misted Manor." The photo shows 2 women and 3 men wearing a variety of different styles of clothing. All 5 people had their faces crudely covered with black ink. I think this is Poppy's mother. So Primrose? Felix? No, Felix? The point? And... That looks like it could be Fifi. Is Flora not her real mother, maybe? And this is her real mother? Green jacket, which was mentioned earlier. Maybe... I'm gonna say Penelope and Felix, and I don't know about the other 3.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
Yes.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
No, they've all left, I think.
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
No? Okay. Crab.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3?
Look closer. It is the soul crab.
You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
Oh, we have to... Oh, we have to make it look like the toy, don't we?
This crab really reminds me of something.
That little wooden toy we found?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help us. I think I've seen it more recently.
Okay, hang on, let me... Okay, so we're looking... So we want... angle, open, closed. Angle, open, closed.
Is that a crab?
It's got a...
Also, crab.
So angle, this way. Angle this way. Open. Closed up. Hang on. Can we hit? Hit? Hit?
Perfect.
There we are. You are confusion? What are you confusion about? There's a lot going on, but you go ahead, write your confusions. I will try to help.
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
Is that a crossbow? Oh my god, it is. Okay.
What is it?
What do you mean, what is it? It's a crossbow.
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We have the other parts.
We found them already.
Is this part? And this part. And oh no. What's that part? No.
That doesn't seem right.
We need something that could attach to the crossbow.
Something that could attach. Yes?
I think that might attach the crossbow, but not this part of the crossbow.
I thought we had enough. The telescope! There we are.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
Yes, we figured out the lens. But Seafoam, what are you confused about?
You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3.
They did say the Wolfman in the attic was moved there recently. Maybe it was moved to make room for whatever's going on here?
Hooks. Big hooks.
Who are the people, and why is this whole place here? I suppose that's what we are trying to find out. That's part of the greater mystery.
This room a study?
What would you call it?
The secret death chamber.
Hmm.
Of doom.
Hmm.
Some kind of fish and a bird skull, I guess?
I guess.
If that's a bird skull, we're talking about a 15-foot bird here.
I mean,
Well, how about we stop talking about it?
giant emu, not totally out of the idea.
Nice chair.
It's still warm.
Still warm, you say? Mmm.
Maybe it's just heat from the incinerator.
Maybe.
Is this the incinerator then?
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
Ooh, there's something. The feather! The ink dip feather! And something else. Not much more than a pile of dust and ash. Among the ashes there are several black buttons and red colored scraps of fabric. Does anyone wear red? I hope we can give this feather back to Flora. Can we investigate a
An
feather?
incinerator.
Is there anything?
Yeah, there's something.
Can we talk about the feather? Can we talk about the feather?
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
Hawkshaw does wear red, although Hawkshaw wears more of a magenta. So does Felix. Felix does wear red.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
Oh, yeah, the crossbow. The crossbow went there. Someone took the crossbow off the wall.
Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Ooh, let's look at that notebook. Several pages have been ripped out, but a few remain. A fifth ambassador located, finally. Can't say I harbored any optimism, but still somehow disappointed. No better than the rest of them. Took my misted friend into the music room for experiments. It works, perhaps too well. So that's what broke the statue. The laboratory was another disappointment. All that effort for what? He's even more short-sighted than I could have guessed. Pointer. Went to the bottom, nice view. It's been mostly cleaned out, but I have what I need. She got in. She was careful. Nothing was moved. But I know it's time. So he's meaning Freya. Freya got in, and that's why she was killed. And it's not Pointer. Pointer didn't know she was in there. Or suspected, but couldn't prove yet. Fifth ambassador located, finally. It wouldn't be Fifi. Felix and Penny don't seem this detailed. Nor does Flora. I doubt Hawkshaw knows. This doesn't seem Poppy of Fitz's style either. Okay, what about this?
The wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
Those seem to be pictures of Hawkshaw. A large central sheet of paper has been pinned to it. 4 lines have been drawn from a gap in the center. A smaller sheet underneath, the features of drawing resembling the silhouette of a cloaked figure. I know what goes in these spots. I know.
Someone's been using this room.
It's Freya.
It's a wooden pinboard hung up on one.
Yes. Blah blah blah. I know exactly what I need.
I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays, it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
It's not. I know what goes there. This one. The green paper. And this is the photo of the painting. They're all connected.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down.
Oh, my kitty
Should
is
we
meowing.
Go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
The only one who's shown any kind of art is Felix? With the carvings? But I don't think he would bother with the sketches. I don't think. Oh, this is twisty.
Time to solve this.
Oh, time to solve it. We're at 2 hours exactly. I don't want to waste the time. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Because I don't want to spend 15 minutes of this on Friday and then have to start a new game. We're just gonna go for it. Might be going a little bit over time, but I'm alright with that.
Alright, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
Above.
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah.
Right, but she was knocked down.
Unless
Freya was already on her back.
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
The gramophone?
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
Something in the
There was
gramophone.
Something in the gramophone.
Something small.
The golden beetle.
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so. Not by itself.
But if it's inside the
it was being
gramophone.
amplified by the shape of the gramophone. Now, I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The hornet's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise.
Yep.
Although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
Which is why you have the paints on one side.
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's
So I was right, it was
seriously
sound.
Powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been
No,
much
the
further away
earmuffs.
from the gramophone than Flora was.
They protected themselves.
They protected themselves.
How?
The earmuffs.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. the golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it.
Okay. So who had the time? Who had the time? So Poppy and Fitz alibied. Perfect. Perfect, ready to go. Felix... No, not Felix. Professor Pointer and Penelope both came from the other staircase, so we know it wasn't them. They had no way to get over there. Hawkshaw... potentially. Fifi potentially. Felix potentially. Those are the 3 unaccounted for.
There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
Okay. Yes.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
Okay.
I can see the stars. The plant. It's in the book.
What?
Look.
Yes. It has particular feeding habits and usually only eats the seeds of this. Mm-hmm.
The plant. It's...
What?
Look.
Yes. What about it? Right there. Mm-hmm. There should be 2 of them?
I can see the stars.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
Can we not? What do I have to do from here? Uh-huh.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
Still covered. Oh? What did that unlock? Seems to be the last thing.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink-dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
We found it somewhere else.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
It's in the unfinished painting?
It's in the unfinished still. It's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it. And then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
What? How did Freya show us her intentions for the painting? The palette.
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
Yes. The yellow was dripped onto the canvas from this sketch of something sitting in the window. No, I don't think it's the yellow. Black paint? The brown and, the brown and gray paint?
Brown and gray paint was going to be used to paint this sketch of something sitting in the window. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
The black paint?
The black paint was going to be used to paint this
The yellow was going to be
sketch of
used.
something sitting in the window.
The yellow?
Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
It's not very yellow, but sure, we'll try it. Oh, because it hasn't been touched yet.
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint this sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
Oh? Something yellow in the window of Flora's. The golden beetle?
That's not it.
The fruit?
That's not it.
No.
That's not it.
The egg?
That's not it.
Yellow, 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 yellow. Gramophone.
That's not it.
First paints? Something?
That's not it.
No. Birds? Oh! Hello.
There she is. Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did.
Oh, Hawkshaw. Hawkshaw's working with Penny?
But she's a very good listener. Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
Huh. Okay. Sure, tie your hands, why not? With the real thing.
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
Justice for Freya. How is she two places at once? I don't know. I don't know. I am confusion.
Justice for Freya.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy. The volition to create something from nothing. The willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
She's lonely.
Suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing, and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy. Not one.
Yeah.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
The study? I did say that the voice actors were similar, but they're the same. Oh, you did say that. You did say that. Good job.
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside.
Okay. All right, we're going. We're going.
Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Yes.
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
Your birds.
That's not it.
No? The beetle?
That's not right.
The fruit? No, not the fruit. What else would have been there? Why not try the fruit?
That's not right.
It's... What would have been in there? The bird book?
That's not right.
No? Wait, I can go over here. The group photo! Oh, goodness.
5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
Yes.
Rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era, denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself. All empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mistids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. Considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision.
You made a decision. Okay. Alright. I feel like this is coming out of nowhere. But alright, we keep going. We're blazing on.
There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me.
Flora.
My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
So where did he get the beetle?
cannot be sure, but I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in.
It's the 10.
Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
The will of Freya Fellow. Wait, did she kill them too? I don't know. She's apparently capable of murder. Huh. Can we leave? We can leave, but there's no one else around. No, we'll stay. Alright.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Ah! Yeah, I was right. I was right.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. what Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona.
No, that
The
makes
real
sense.
reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Ayo, did kill him.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Oh no! Well, we're fucked. Oh, she didn't kill us. That's nice of her. She could have.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the
That's Penny's
gramophone?
hat.
I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fit saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened?
They were all
What did
fianced.
she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
To the garden, yeah.
Something landed in the garden outside my room. But by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So,
Fitz
and
likes
got
that.
away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
Oh. Wait, we're done? We're done? But that doesn't really... Oh. Well. Alright then. I'll be honest, that seemed like a bit of a turn. None of that was really connected until the very end. I mean, we could tell that Penny was unhappy. Penelope. I'm going to get her. Did she not care about Fitz and Poppy at all then? I have the art gallery unopened now. So many gaps left. Yeah, that was... It just took such a turn. And yes, we got more clues, but the clues really weren't pointing to Penny at all. Yeah, it was making a lot of sense until it wasn't. And she apparently felt sympathy for Flora, but we don't know why she felt sympathy for Flora. Or why she couldn't just leave? Why she felt trapped? Why she wanted a greater purpose? So it sounds like she wasn't really coming back to the island for Fitz at all. Just to try and uncover more of the secrets. And she would rather kill Freya than let her secrets get out. But then her secrets got out anyway, and she lost the beetle anyway. So she killed everyone for nothing. Let's look at the art gallery, why not? Ooh. So all the original concept art. Oh, Felix looked very different. And then who gave us the crab thingy? Yeah? Ghost Freya confirmed? Maybe Flora? Oh, that's a cute Freya. Oh, Fitz. Fitz didn't look anything like concept. Huh. Okay, Professor Pointer, that makes sense. Penny Pointer. It's not bad looking character right there. Poppy. Okay. Locations. Ooh, colors. And then if anyone wants to pause later when I have this VOD up or the YouTube video, which I'm hopefully going to have, you can read all about it. See, it felt like a twist villain just to have a twist villain, honestly. And then, yeah, the whole I'm going to get her in the rose petals thing. I don't really get it. If she didn't seem to care about Fitz at all, why would she care that Fitz and Poppy were talking? Or if she meant it to be about Freya, then why the rose petals? It's interesting. I do like the story. I just felt like it really ramped up at the end to try and be like, oh, now suddenly we have a mystery and we have to get things going. And we have to have twists here. Because everything else, I could more or less figure out. I had a lot going on. I had a lot of theories and that sort of thing. But then it just kind of really rushes you the last quarter. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's interesting to see just how large the first portion is, and then how short the next 3 sections are. Overall, I still love the voice acting in it. The voice acting is amazing. The art is gorgeous, again, looking at it here. Yeah, it feels kind of disjointed a little bit, because then we're getting into this thing about Mistids and the family and what it all means. But we don't actually find anything out, and that seems to be Penny's motivation, is that you can't find anything out. But then we don't get any indication before that she's unfulfilled in that way. Oops, we're going through these again. Oopsie. I think there are more games in this universe. Would you consider playing them? There is one. There's a sequel out, The Mermaid's Tongue. I would absolutely do that. I'm not going to do that right at the moment. Because I put a poll up on my Tumblr, and that is currently doing crazily well. And they really want... what do I want to say? They really want Spiritfarer, which makes sense. You know, it's an amazing game. I've played it before. Made me bawl my eyes out repeatedly. I am a little bit worried that I'm going to be crying constantly on stream. But, you know, sending spirits off to the afterlife is very in tune with the Halloween season, I think. So I thought it was appropriate to put there. Currently, it is winning the vote with 89% done. Oh, this clue is unique in that it is somewhat forged. I wanted it to look almost orchestrated, so the writing is purposefully crazed and the paper crumpled, but conveniently not ripped. Ah, so it was a... So that was all just an act then. To make us think that Penny was preoccupied with Poppy and Fritz when really she didn't actually give a damn. Fair enough. And so that's why she orchestrated the... orchestrated what we were going to focus on with her rather than what she was actually doing. Fair enough. But yeah, overall, what do you think, Sifa? What do you think of the story? What do you think of the people? What do you think of Penny's odd villain turn? Okay, we went through these. Alright, so that's all the art. So I will go ahead. I loved all of it until the end. Yeah, I about agree. Well, that put us at 2:44. So I did go a little bit over time, but I think it was worth it. I'm quite happy to have finished it. I'm quite happy to have played it. It was overall very enjoyable. And I suppose I will be seeing you on Friday with Spirit Fair. So that'll be interesting. I don't think I'll be crying on Friday. Because I don't think anything will have happened there yet. But next Tuesday? Well, no. Actually, not next Tuesday. I actually won't be streaming next week. I'll explain more about that later. I'll explain it on Saturday. Which will be my hangout time, which I've been meaning to do. And I'm actually going to do it this time. I've cleared up my schedule. Nothing else is happening on Saturday. Saturday hangout is happening. So I will talk about it then. So to wrap up, I hope you all enjoyed spending your time with me, because I certainly enjoyed spending it with you. And I hope you all have a lovely evening. Good night.